When Zelda awakens in ancient Hyrule, she quickly notices a strange, mysterious structure in the distance, something entirely unfamiliar. She asks about it, and Sonia and Rauru give an unexpected answer. They reveal that it's a shrine meant to seal away the shades. They explain that these shades are foul spirits that plague the land, and that they've been traveling to banish them. According to the official Tears of the Kingdom lorebook, Masterworks, this journey is even given a name: the Pilgrimage of Purification. Whatever these shades that Rauru and Sonia are so desperately attempting to cleanse are, well, they aren't ordinary monsters. They simply manifest, forming out of nothing as dark, blood-red, strangely formless entities that wreathe like living miasma. And more disturbingly still, they don't just attack the body, they invade it. When a shade takes hold, the victim's eyes are stained a violent red. Their sense of self seems to collapse. So what precisely are the shades? And why do both Age of Imprisonment and Masterworks seem to categorize them differently from the regular demons, describing them as something that must be purified? In the Japanese version of Age of Imprisonment, the shades are called Ja. This is a character that appears often in Japanese mythology and throughout The Legend of Zelda 2, but rarely on its own. By itself, Ja is an unusually loose word. It doesn't point to a specific being or creature. Instead, it refers to a condition, something impure, distorted, or spiritually harmful. Because of that, it normally appears as part of a compound word, paired with another character that gives it shape and direction. I think it's best to imagine it as something that turns an abstract influence into something more concrete. So naturally, seeing Rauru, who refers to these ghostly shadows in Japanese as simply Ja, feels strange in a very particular way. You see, by choosing Ja as the standalone name for these beings, the developers are effectively taking a concept, an idea associated with impurity and harmful spiritual influence, and giving it substance as a kind of living force that brings calamity not through intent, but simply by existing. So rather than focusing on the result of corruption like malice, they're pointing us towards the state that allows it to exist in the first place. This way of framing evil has roots in older Japanese religious and mythological thought, where evil isn't always imagined as a single villain or a creature with intent. Instead, it's treated as a natural phenomenon, something closer to fog, shadow, or maybe even a lingering, polluted presence that emerges. In other words, Ja can be one or several of many things. It could be a surge of malicious intent, a twisted emotional residue, or a proto-monster taking shape, or even an unseen karmic force moving through the world. That deliberate ambiguity is precisely what gives the term its power. In Age of Imprisonment, Ja is portrayed as red, vague, formless presences that drift, gather, and intrude, rather than hunt or conquer in the literal sense. It's like they are corrupted concentrations of something already present, rather than independent beings with their own wills. Seen through that lens, I think we can appreciate how the English localization shades is actually a pretty creative interpretation. So with that said, what does this mean for the lore of The Legend of Zelda? Page 382 of Tears of the Kingdom's Masterworks reveals that even before the era of Rauru and Sonya's reign as depicted in Age of Imprisonment, there was a presence of Ja that existed within the land itself, which continued to harm the people. In other words, this means that evil in ancient Hyrule originally had no single form. This evil was not necessarily a person, but was instead an impure spiritual phenomenon of the land itself. And perhaps that is where the bigger question arises. What is causing the land to be so vulnerable? As Masterworks explains, Ja produces what's called Jaki, an external harmful aura or miasma of an environment that corrupts, and Janin, twisted emotions and distorted mental or emotional energy akin to internal malice or obsession that leaks into the world. These can become spiritual pollution and even create monsters. Masterworks elaborates that Ja was especially concentrated around places overflowing with Jaki and Janin, locations described as like demon gates or dragon veins. In Japanese geomancy, these terms refer to spiritually sensitive locations. Kimon, the demon gate, the direction from which harmful spiritual energy is believed to enter, and Ryumaku, or dragon veins, which refer to the Earth's hidden channels of natural power flowing through and beneath the land. Many real-life Japanese cities were intentionally designed with these beliefs in mind, but perhaps none more famously than the country's former capital. As the cultural heart of Japan, Kyoto was planned according to Omyodo principles. Its northeast, the most spiritually dangerous direction, was shielded by Mount Heie and the massive temple complex of Enryakuji, built specifically to guard the city's demon gate. And this matters for Zelda because Kyoto didn't just inspire elements of the series thematically, it shaped Hyrule physically. During the early development of Breath of the Wild, Nintendo overlaid a map of Kyoto onto Hyrule to help better establish scale, flow, and landmark placement. That influence carried straight into Tears of the Kingdom as well. The Shrines of Light, which Rauru and Sonya erupted during their pilgrimage to purify Ja, use names derived from real Kyoto places, rearranged and reinterpreted. So when Masterworks describes the Shades, or Ja, pooling around demon gates and dragon veins, it mirrors the exact geomantic ideas that shaped Kyoto, and by extension, the layout of Hyrule itself. The places where corruption gathers reflect a deliberate, culturally grounded design language running beneath the entire world. Age of Imprisonment shows that the Gerudo were also capable of controlling Ja as well. By playing what appears to be a specific melody on a flute, they can cause these shades to rise out of the ground, taking shape as formless entities and even command them to attack others, including that of their own people. I've covered the forgotten dark arts of the ancient Gerudo in an earlier video, but Masterworks reveals that the Gerudo once possessed secret techniques for manipulating evil spirits, even imbuing them with the very souls of Ja itself to animate them as puppets, which could also have a connection to why the Shades drop pose when defeated. During the imprisoning war, Ganondorf overwhelms Hyrule with impossible numbers of demons. At first glance, it looks as though he's summoning them out of thin air, an endless army born instantly from his power. However, Masterworks proposes something else, something even more terrifying. It suggests that the Demon King wasn't summoning monsters in the literal sense at all. Instead, when he gained the power of darkness through the secret stone, he gained the ability to do something far more devastating. Rather than relying solely on ancient Gerudo rituals to command Ja, he could now amplify it, essentially supercharging the corrupt spiritual energy that already flowed through the land of Hyrule itself. When Ja is strengthened like this, it takes shape faster. It condenses and manifests. What normally would have emerged slowly, one spirit entity at a time, is suddenly accelerated into a catastrophic, instantaneous process. As the Demon King, Ganondorf didn't just create an army, he released it. All across Hyrule, the corrupted energy buried in the earth, the very same energy Rauru and Sonia spent their pilgrimage purifying, was forced into form. Every pool of Jah, every stain of malice, every place where resentment or impurity gathered, all of it solidified into demons at once. And that is why his rise felt like an instant, overwhelming flood, because the evil that destroyed Hyrule wasn't created by the Demon King alone, because it was, in a sense, always there, lying dormant within Hyrule's foundations.